Hello. We've had a lot of people talk to us about different packaging of wines and different ways of trying to store wine and so forth. And Ted and I thought we'd go over some of the history of wine storage and packaging, so to speak, and then what do we see now and what seems to be the future. I'm Dr. Bill.
And I'm Ted.
And the first way that I look at actual quote unquote wine being made and available is when it was placed in some type of a container that could be sealed. And therefore it could age, it could be transported, and then when ready, that seal could be broken. Many times it was actually caked in mud that had dried to seal it, particularly like in some of the huge earthenware vessels that we see coming out of the Republic of Georgia. But taking that forward, we then kind of come more into the bottles. So, Ted, what do you think we have here that we can kind of go over?
Well, for hundreds and hundreds of years, wine has always come pretty much traditionally packaged like this, where you have a bottle and then essentially a piece of tree bark stuck in the top of it, a cork. But you've also had a lot of, new kind of updated formats and things like that. Larger formats like the 1.5 liter size bottle that we have here, about 10 glasses per bottle in there, or even things that are a little bit more friendly to just say a single person or maybe a couple, like what they call a split or a 375 milliliter bottle. But still, 95% of all wine out there still comes this way: glass bottle, tree bark stuck in the end of it. The scariest turn of phrase in the English language, according to Reagan, was "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." I always thought the second scariest turn of phrase is because we've always done it this way. Well, it's not that way anymore. Now we've had a lot of new, updated thinking as far as packaging and delivery of wine out there for a lot of different reasons. You've got a lot more movement towards reducing people's, carbon footprint as far as wineries, recyclable materials, packaging friendly as far as being able to be more portable, things like that. So with that, we've had things like our box wines. And this isn't your grandmother's cardboard kegger anymore. This is kind of a new, updated way of thinking of bringing better wines to the customer in a more eco-friendly, packaging, but also something that's, going to give you a lot more length on your wine and stuff. Because when you pull a cork from any bottle, you're going to be on a short little time frame. And Doc's going to talk to you more about that here in a minute. Stuff about how you can extend the life of a bottle of wine once you've opened it, or in one case actually before you actually even open it. But you've also had some things like canned wine. There's even keg wine nowadays that a lot of your bars and restaurants are using, especially for their by the glass options. So a bunch of different ways of bringing you good wine at a lot more eco-friendly, a lot more economically friendly as far as shipping and things like that kind of options. Doc, you want to talk to us about some new voodoo that you got over there?
Yeah, I'd like to. Uh, One other area is what kind of sealant you use. And here we see cork, and here we see,
Stove enclosure, also known as a screw cap.
and that's very popular. And there's a lot of research looking into taking a cork versus the whatever kind of closure screw cap you're talking about, and seeing if there's a difference. And so far, as best I can tell, the screw cap has held its own
Yeah.
against the same year and type of wine with a cork. But the other side of this is we keep saying, well, once we pull the cork, we got to drink it all or pour it out or whatever, because it's going to turn into something real bitter and then something we call vinegar. And there have been several efforts at how do we preserve wine once we pull the cork on it. There are devices out there that you can actually try to pump air out of the bottle through a cap and seal it, to the type of device that we see here. And this is called a Coravin. And it actually has a needle here that you pass through the cork, through the cap, into the wine like this. And then there's a little lever here that when you tilt it, it delivers as much wine as you keep pressing the tilt button. Now, a lot of people swear by this, and a lot of places that I visited back this past summer in France, almost all of them were using a device such as this for their tastings. And people have said that this will allow your wine to survive for months. So the other thing that I've seen that's been kind of recently shown is something that's called a repour. And it looks like a little stopper with a seal on it. And inside this stopper are some type of crystals that actually absorb oxygen. So after you've opened your bottle, like so, Ted, you're too strong for it. You pull this seal off and put it in here, and then you put the bottle of wine in the refrigerator. So that's still a little bit unproven to me, but I bought some, so there you have it. So we're going to try out this Corvin and see how we like the wine it helps produce. But just a few ideas, and another idea that a great friend of mine suggested is that there are commercially available sources. The gas that's used with this is argon, and that there are commercially available sources of argon used for welding. I'm not going to jump into that bandwagon just yet because this stuff can set you on fire anyway. So hope this has been helpful to you. We're enjoying it, and we're going to enjoy the fruits of the Corvin. So hope you have a great week. Look forward to seeing you next weekend. Happy drinking.
As always, like, comment, subscribe.